The funny cars, the true crowd pleasers as our next pair. The engine's already started and the tires are smoking. Let's go down and talk to John Force.
Well, John Force powers his way past Billy Meyer and into the semifinals. Good weekend for you so far, John.
Well, I think it hurt itself there. I heard some noises. It wasn't a rod in them, but a valve broke or something, or a push rod or a spring or something. But yeah, Myers had trouble up there, and it just gave me a little time, to do a little thinking about that tree. I think, Steve, that tree's my biggest enemy. It scares me more than any racer I've ever raced, more than Prudhomme, more than McEwen. But I got me a little friendly deal going. If that tree will just hang on a little bit better, we'll share the money here.
Well, John Force has had his share of problems with the Christmas tree. Either he's too early in red lights or he's too late and the competition wins. But he seems right on target at this 29th annual U.S. Nationals. Another racer that's right on target is the driver of the Mercury LN7 bodied car, Tom Anderson. The team of Alan Aronek and Jim Ouimet have a great driver in the Macedon, New York-based Tom Anderson. He'll be racing against another East Coast stalwart, Al Sigrini from southeastern Massachusetts, who in the first round of competition drew the toughest nitro racer of them all, Don the Snake Prudhomme. Prudhomme from Granada Hills, California, has won more national titles at the wheel of a nitro-burning funny car or dragster in the history of the sport, and what a race it was. As Don Prudhomme with the lead, and then a small fire, the engine lets go. Sigrini burned some pistons and won the race at 5.97 seconds, and Prudhomme went out in round number one. As we watch again, the two cars are just like they're locked together when they leave the starting line. Don Prudhomme and Al Sigrini. Prudhomme losing traction just a little bit. And now as they near the timing traps, the smoke starting to come out of the right-hand side of Prudhomme's car, and then the fire erupts, and Sigrini sneaks by with a 5.97 to Prudhomme's losing 5.96 seconds. So Sigrini, with that win, advances to the second round. He is in the far lane of the racetrack. He is against Tom Anderson, who is approaching the starting line in the near lane. You may remember Tom Anderson from Diamond V Sports coverage of the recent Gator Nationals, when he exploded an engine into a ball of fire, but yet repaired the car and came back and made it to the semifinals of the Gator Nationals. But that's all behind him now. On the starting line, his opponent is Al Sigrini, one of the toughest in the business. Sigrini goes up in smoke. Tom Anderson streaks for the finish line, and Sigrini is out of the race, losing the traction, giving the win to Tom Anderson at 6.09 seconds. His speed over 241 miles an hour, and if you're going to fall off the pace a little bit, the time to do it is when your competition goes up in smoke. The next pair of cars include the reigning world champion, Frank Hawley, driving the famed Chi-Town Hustler against the feared Blue Max of Raymond Beadle. Beadle used the last qualifying attempt available to him just to make this program. There have been some who say that his expansion into a NASCAR team and into a sprint car team has hurt his drag racing efforts. But his qualifying time reflects that the Blue Max is back and with a vengeance. When you couple his recent win at the NHRA Spring Nationals and his qualifying effort here, Raymond Beadle's drag racing effort is coming right up to par with the entire Blue Max operation. Frank Hawley, the Canadian driver, won the first 3 national events in a row this season, and he has a leg up and is leading the points chase this year for that world champion title. Raymond Beadle is familiar with the world championship. He won it 3 years in a row. At the U.S. Nationals, the Blue Max in the near lane, the Chi-Town Hustler in the far lane, absolutely the best race cars and drivers assembled here for the 29th annual running of the world's largest drag race. A great start for Hawley, and Beadle is right with him. As they go down the track, it is just a matter of a car length, and Raymond Beadle and the Blue Max wins it with a 5.91 second, somewhat slower than his earlier 580s, but good enough to put him into the semifinals against Kenny Bernstein. Tom Anderson races John Force at the U.S. Nationals.